Okay, so I rode this bike yesterday around the lakes here in Minneapolis and got a little dirty, but no big deal. I really like how this bike rides, but I want to talk about a few things that I want to change on this, and for good reason. So let's get into it.
There we go. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Woo. That was so fun. Wow. Tree. Yes. You get to see Biff number 2.
Hello, welcome to my channel. So I have a new Esker Hey Duke here. I rode it around a little bit yesterday, and there's a few things I want to change that were set up at the shop. And this is very typical for me to want to change things. So I'm going to show you here between these two bikes. So here is the shifters on this bike, and I'm going to put my hand on there. And so if I want to grip the grip and have full grip and not connect with the shifters, I'm way out here and I don't ride like this. Like, I can't fully grip the grip with my thumb off and my finger, and if I try to grab the grip here, my fingers are all jammed against the levers and stuff. So let's come over here and look at my Ripmo AF for a second. So here's my Ripmo AF. Notice where the grip is and where my shifters are. Now, I think the bigger difference here is I thumb and thumb. I probably could have these a little closer if I wanted to, but I get used to this and I like it because for me, maybe it's my BMX thing or whatever, having stuff in the area where my hand is drives me nuts. So if my hand's hitting those levers and things like that, it drives me nuts. Also notice that I move my brakes in quite a bit, so I can one finger out on the outside of the brake lever. So I also move these in, make sure the dropper lever's out of the way. Same deal here, right? So I'm gonna work on this setup so it's more like this. And it's just, again, this is personal preference. You know, you can set this stuff up however you like it. But this is how I personally like it. And again, it's probably more of a BMX thing. Like in BMX bikes, you don't have all this crap around your grip and you can just move your hand around and all that stuff. So let's set this up the way that I like it. So I basically should be able to do this with two tools. These Y wrenches, these are the smaller sets. These are a little bit bigger. Gone is the day when you used to have to use like WD-40 or something to get your grips off. Shops will sometimes use an air hose. Now we just have lock-on grips. Makes it so easy. I love lock-on grips. All right, so I'm gonna switch these around, find out what size this is. So this is gonna be the shifter lever right here. Take that off. If I figure out what size I need, there we go. Sometimes the cables aren't long enough to take this all the way off, but in this case they are, so that's nice. So basically all I wanna do is switch these around and get that one inside, and this looks like it's got a hinge or something on it, but I'm not even gonna well, I might have to bother. I can turn the bars, get a little more cable, but basically I'm gonna look at my cables and swap these. So that goes first, then that. So there we go. So the reason I swapped them is because by having this on the inside, I can have the brake lever where I want it, and have the shifters out of the way. So if I put the grip back on, now I can slide that in and set it up so until I get clearance from my hand on the grip. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this stuff down, and then we'll look at the other side and I'll show you the final result. Okay, I'm now sitting on my bike and you can see how much clearance I have with my hand now, and I can still shift. Right, and my brake lever's in the ideal spot. One of the other things I do is the angle of the brake lever on the bar. They're not way up like this, they're not way down. They're at approximately a 45-degree angle. I like my wrist to be in alignment with the lever like that. And then over here, I moved the dropper lever in a little bit, but I also moved it towards me because it was way underneath, so I was having to push way like this and twist my arm down. Now I can push it with my wrist nice and level. So these are things that a lot of people don't really think about, like all the positioning of this stuff and the comfort level and everything. And if you get a bike from a shop, don't just leave it how the shop has it. You know, adjust it to your liking and, you know, get it dialed. So that's my adjustment here for today, but I wanted to talk about one more thing because grips are also really important. I know a lot of people think that they want a big cushy grip, like something soft. Really what you want is a thinner grip, and really depending on how big your hands are. So if you have shorter fingers, and I don't have super long fingers or big hands, so I like really thin grips because I want to have a good grip on the bar and be able to reach my lever. And if you can't hold the grip and reach your lever, and you find yourself having to do this, and a lot of women I see have to do this because they tend to have smaller hands and they don't have the levers adjusted to be closer to the grip, and so you see them reaching and going like this and literally losing their grip to put on their brakes. That's not good. So if that's going on with you, make sure you get your lever adjusted. So literally, I'll switch sides here. You literally, most brake levers, all of them are a little different, have an adjustment screw, and you can bring the lever closer to the grip so you don't have to reach as far. And then if you have grips on your bike that are super thick, that's gonna also take away from your ability to reach things. So you actually want a thinner grip if you have smaller hands. Very important. And almost all bikes nowadays I see come stock with thinner grips, but I do see on the shelves for sale these big fat cushy grips, and you really, those make it much harder to ride and hold on. If you have problems with your hands, if you ride a lot, you're just going to get calluses. That's the way life is. And B, wear gloves or something like that, because that's what I do. Plus I sweat like crazy, so if I didn't have gloves on, I wouldn't be able to hold on to the handlebars. So there you have it, both sides adjusted. Now this thing is more dialed to my liking. I appreciate you supporting my channel. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.